Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the WWF Superstars Edition. Superstars of Wrestling. We get over 200 of these now here on Pro Wrestling Logic. And this is the March 18th, 1989, 2 weeks from WrestleMania 5 edition. We go with the Ultimate Warrior versus Joe Milano. Obviously, Ultimate Warrior is weeks away from losing the Intercontinental Championship to Ravishing Rick Rude. That is the opening of the show, and of course, Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Man. Sure, this is the year that I became a fan, so super excited to have 1989 to review. Wish everything was here. Anyway, Warrior in a super basic match, very punch kick motivated, clotheslines, shoulder tackles, press slam, and 1-2-3. He goes 2-foot with Rick Rude in a couple of runs here. And of course, Rick Rude does an inset promo promising to be the man to defeat the Ultimate Warrior in the WrestleMania 5 match that they are soon to have. And he is a prognosticator as he does successfully get that done. Then we go to the Powers of Pain in a squash match. Of course, they are a little bit above the demolition match here, 3-on-2. WrestleMania 5, Mr. Fuji, which actually is my all-time favorite demolition match. Not for necessarily being the biggest technical masterpiece of the demolition run, but because the story that was being told from November to WrestleMania 5, and the draw out with it is enjoyable. But the Powers of Pain against George Scotland, the son of Arnold Scotland and Tony Roy, up next here. I mean, a super basic match, as it were. Also, the nature of Miss Elizabeth choosing her corner and being in a neutral corner for WrestleMania 5, neither with Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage, is talked about in the special report edition of things. Warlord and Barbarian are just completely, totally massive human beings here. Barbarian takes the majority of things. A big body slam and good double teams by the Barbarian and Warlord. The thing I like about this is there's a clear reason for every match. The inset promos give you that reason. Also, Mr. Fuji's out there, and the top rope elevated tackle is here. Really simple match. Actually, probably one of the better matches. We go to an event center with Shawn Mooney. Talk about bringing back childhood. And again, all the matches on today's episode, 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 5, the Bushwhackers basically saying they're going to get rid of the Rougeau brothers. Fun match there. And then we go to Rougeau brothers basically saying at WrestleMania 5 they'll still be alive. Brainbusters promising to be the best tag team in the area and eliminate the reuniting Strike Force once and for all. Closed circuit around the idea of WrestleMania 5 is also discussed, and then we go to King Haku after a Stridex commercial with the Twin Towers. But King Haku against Tommy Clausey, Bobby Heenan with Haku. They're hyping the match with Hercules at WrestleMania 5. Hercules sold down the river like a slave by Bobby Heenan in 1988, and that match comes to fruition. Haku, very basic punch kick maneuvers. About 3 minutes into the match, back kick, savate kick by him, and ultimately that leads forward. Hillbilly Jim hyping the summer. Actually, Hillbilly Jim, a guy that is kind of surprising, is not on the WrestleMania 5 run, but he's encouraging everyone to watch WrestleMania 5 anyway. He ends up going into the return matches for the Andre the Giant, Big John Studd feud by June of same year. The Rockers and Iron Mike Sharp and Mitch Casey out here. Rockers in red tights, of course, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. Rockers against the Twin Towers, a part of WrestleMania 5. The first WrestleMania appearance for Jannetty and Michaels. And obviously, you know where their career goes. That WrestleMania 5 match, actually WrestleMania 5, probably my all-time favorite Mania. Maybe, no, 4 and 5 tied, and I know a lot of people don't like 4, but the story from, let's say, 3 to 6 in general is, to me, the best time in pro wrestling history. Anyway, Shawn Michaels gets a quick snap suplex. Very basic maneuvers along the way here. Nothing to write home about. Good double forearms, double drop kicks, and the like. And then the double fist drops of the inside. Would have been interesting to see the Rockers against somebody like the, somebody like the Rock and Roll Express at the time. Obviously, two different companies, never happened, but it's just interesting to think about what could have happened there. Then we go to Mr. Perfect against Nelson Verdosh, and Mr. Perfect going into the match with the blue blazer, WrestleMania 5. I believe Perfect blows out his knee, or Owen does, one of the two. Anyway, inverted neck snap, knee lift, and the perfect plex, leading things in a positive direction there, and ultimately kind of getting things going in a positive direction here. Then we go to a Brother Love show where Brother Love basically says that the Red Rooster is out of his mind to think that he can defeat his former manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Calls the Rooster average in every way, and Rooster calls Heenan a weasel. Then, probably the best in the series of promos, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage about the Mega Powers exploding, lust in the eyes of Hogan for Elizabeth, Savage promising to be the man to defeat Hulk Hogan and hold on to the WWF Championship. Probably, to me, the best single story ever told in wrestling history, certainly WWF history, is the Savage Hogan build. So if you're not familiar, worth going back and checking out the story arc. Fans encouraged to give their opinions regarding the nature of who's going to win between Hogan and Savage. I like the fact that they did, in fact, bring that about. And courtesy of Saturday Night's Main Event, which I will not cover here, there is a joined-in-progress match of Rick Rude and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, all to set up the continued John Studd and Jake Roberts and Andre feud there. I mean, it's ultimately teasing the feud that Andre breaks off to in with Studd. Of course, Studd and Andre had been warring with each other since '84. This time, though, Studd as the babyface, where he had been the heel before. And, of course, that doesn't last very long, as Studd ends up with, I believe, Hodgkin's disease soon thereafter, within the next couple of years. Honky Tonk Man and the Greg the Hammer Valentine, basically saying they're going to avenge Jimmy Hart's issues with the Hart Foundation. Hercules says he will vanquish Haku once and for all. Promise of the Piper's Pit with Brother Love and Morton Downey Jr. closing the show a couple of weeks before WrestleMania 5. Awesome, awesome superstars. Awesome show in general. We'll be back with more right after this.